Hey my lovely YouTube family, what is happening, and welcome back to my channel and happy new year. It's 2023, we are smashing it and we have set up some new year resolutions, and if you are one of them, you need to watch this video. I'm going to be talking about this one little thing that causes you to give up on your new year resolutions and what you can do to prevent that from happening. So if you have set up some new goals for the new year, keep watching this video, and if you do enjoy my content, then please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. So before you jump into any new year resolution, I want to challenge you and reflect a little bit about your past year and what your core values are and what it's important for you to implement in the upcoming year, because obviously that's the most important thing. You want to include things in your life that is important to you and that gives you a purpose. So if you want to reflect a little bit about your 2022 and to create bigger vision for yourself and to open up your mind, you can ask yourself these questions. How have I grown in this past year, and what experiences led me to that growth? What beliefs do I hold now that I didn't hold a year ago? How would I describe myself right now? What do I love the most about the person I am? What would I do in 2023 if I knew that I couldn't fail? What do I need more of in my life? How can I make more space of that in the upcoming year? What's one thing that I can do in 5 minutes a day to support my body, mind, and spirit? So those are just a few questions that will help you to reflect a little bit about your 2022 and eventually what you want to set for goals or resolutions in 2023. So the questions will be down below, so you can take your time after watching this video to really dive deep and reflect. So the little thing that is not so little that makes you give up on your New Year resolution. Maybe you had New Year resolutions the past years and you ended up writing them down in January, and then you literally just forgot about them, and in December you're like, didn't even remember what you actually put down for January. There's a little thing that eventually self-sabotages for you is your belief. This sounds basic, but I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into it, and hopefully you realize that it is not so basic. It is actually the biggest thing when it comes to goals, setting goals for yourself and dreaming big. Let's say you have made a new resolution that you are going to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. You want to lose X amount of kilos, and the first few weeks you're doing so well. But coming up in late February, you start to lose the habit. You convince yourself someday that it's okay not to go to the gym today. I'm feeling tired, or I'm too busy, I don't have time today, I'll just go tomorrow. And then the spiral continues. There you are. You lost the habit, you have lost your New Year resolution, and now it feels impossible to get back on track. You know what actually cost you to do that? It's not because you're lazy. It has nothing to do with your personality at all. On a deeper level, this is very subconscious. You're not doing this intentionally, okay? You're not aware that you're doing this. But deep down, you think that it doesn't matter because you are not going to achieve it anyways. So when you imagine, when you're sitting there and making those New Year resolutions and you just hold this kind of energy, you're just like, yes, this is the year for me. This is when I actually want to change. I actually want to make all of these things come true. And you can vision yourself. You can vision yourself doing it and succeeding, and you hold that vision so hard in your head, but later down the track, you lose that belief. You don't believe that this will happen to you, or you believe that you don't deserve it. It's not like people are walking around thinking, oh, I'm not gonna do the gym thing anymore because I don't deserve it. This is some very deeply rooted thoughts that might have come up for you from your childhood, is from your inner child. For some reason, there is a need, a desire, an emotion that makes you feel that way. When you're in the middle of February and things start to feel a little bit rough, You are feeling tired, especially if you live in Europe. That time of the year, it's the worst month ever. Relief is going to be the one thing that you really want to keep holding on to, along with your actions when you are trying to achieve your New Year resolutions. Having someone there along your side to support you, guide you, help you, and to hold space for you when you're going through those rough times. Because a weight loss journey itself, in practicality, it is easy, but emotionally it's so hard. And that is why it's so important to have someone to understand, and having a coach that have done a weight loss journey themselves, knowing that it's not always about just calorie deficit. It's so much more. It's so many emotions that comes up. There can be so much deeper emotions that you didn't even knew about, that you haven't even discovered yet, that can come up to the surface when you're going through these rough times. Because eventually what you do when you're going through a weight loss journey is that you are going through discomfort, which is going to trigger certain emotions that can be rooted from early childhood stages that you have been carrying through your whole life, but you just didn't knew, you weren't conscious about you having them, but they have been affecting you without you knowing it. The way that you carry yourself, the way you talk, the way you react to things. And when you start to become aware of how you're behaving and start to bring awareness and reflect over what are my behaviors and why am I doing this way, and start to actually analyze yourself from a perspective that is not about judging yourself, simply just to allow self-compassion and see yourself as your friend. And once you can view yourself from the outside, sometimes that can be a real struggle. Personally, I didn't even know that I had certain behaviors until I was talking to a therapist. My emotional eating was not about food. I always thought that my food problems came from food, but it wasn't really the case. My problem was that the thoughts that was leading me to eat, it was the thoughts that I didn't even know that I was thinking. I didn't even know that I was feeling, because I was so focused on pushing it away. I was so distracting myself from not to feel those things. But I wasn't conscious about feeling those things, if you know what I mean. So it's not always something that you can see yourself, and that's why having a mentor, a coach, anything like that can bring awareness to your emotions and then let you and guide you through that. So weight loss is not always about just weight. When you are entering a weight loss journey alone and you have committed to something silently, like you haven't told anyone about your goal, you don't have anyone holding you accountable to what you have actually put up for yourself, haven't even said your goal out loud, you can let things slip, you can let it pass. Because who's gonna know? Just you. But the thing is, every time you set up a goal for yourself and you constantly let yourself down, you constantly put up a goal then to break your own trust to yourself, the more times you do that, the harder it's going to be to actually commit to a new goal. And that is why just starting your journey, just starting and committing to something, it is so hard, because it takes a lot of courage to even commit to something again, because in your past you haven't fulfilled any of those things that you promised to yourself. So why would you achieve that is now if you haven't achieved it in the past? You simply can't trust yourself when you're starting to feel bad about you not achieving your New Year's resolutions. You end up being mean to yourself, you end up being your own bully, and then maybe you try to distract yourself or soothe yourself with feeding yourself dopamine, scrolling through social media, or go shopping, or binging the latest Netflix show, going out drinking, or eating lots of treats, and the list goes on, because it is easier not to feel than to feel. But eventually that's going to bite you in the ass, and then you're going to have to go through a lot of heavy emotions because you've been neglecting them. You have been neglecting to feel, and that eventually is going to come up to the surface. That topic escalated quickly, but I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you found something that was really relatable and that you are really struggling with at the moment, or that you can feel is holding you back right now, then please share in the comments below. As I just launched this channel, I want to hear more about what's going on in your head and how I can help you the best way. It was a bit different video, but I hope that you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.